Hey guys, Josh here, JDMegaSwagg, whatever you guys want to call me. I'm coming at you guys today with some Battlefield 3 gameplay, some Rush on Operation Metro. I hope that you guys enjoy this gameplay because I enjoy playing this game. But anyways, what am I going to be talking about today, if you can't already tell by the title, is high school. That's right, good old school. Everyone loves school, don't they? They just love it. No, I fucking hate it. But for real, guys, let's think about high school. I want to talk to you guys. Maybe some of you guys haven't been to high school. Maybe some of you guys are already out of high school and you want to see like how the times have changed. Or maybe some of you guys are like in the middle of high school and you just want to see what my experience is like. I don't know. I just felt like talking about high school. So I am a senior in high school. I'm about halfway through my senior year. I'll be graduating this year, which thank God I'll be graduating this year, and I'm excited. I am finally going to be done with school. I'm going to college, but I'm going to be done with high school, you know, public school. I'll be being able to choose what school I go to now, and I'll be able to choose my own things. I'll be an adult and all that fun shit. So basically, I want to tell you guys about high school starting out with when you get there. So we all start out as freshmen. Yes, the funnest year, freshman year. No, your freshman year is probably going to be your weirdest year. At least it was for me. You go through so many changes from the beginning of freshman year to the end of freshman year. Like, I was literally a different person by the end of freshman year. I think, like, at the beginning of freshman year, I was like this little like nerdy kid who didn't dress at all that good, that stylish, and I didn't have no swag, as I could say. And then by the end of freshman year, you know, I started coming around. I got a lot more social, started dressing with a little bit more swag, getting a little bit better with the ladies, if you know what I'm saying. And by the end of freshman year, I had myself together. I pretty much knew how my personality was, and I knew who I like to hang around with and who I was going to be friends with through high school. But don't let that change, because let me tell you something, you will make and lose friends in high school throughout your whole high school career, or I guess you could call it career years, I guess I'll say. So freshman year will be your biggest changing year. You may start out freshman year with the same group of friends that you have had since elementary school, and by the end of that year, you may have a totally new, different crowd, and you may be acting like a totally different person. Hopefully for the better. Hopefully you don't go into the wrong crowd, which is something that I kinda did. Like, yeah, I had that swag, I had that lady stuff going on, which was better, but I also was like getting into stuff like weed and drinking, and that shit, that's not good for you. And that's another thing, is by the end of your high school years, you will mature, and hopefully you'll get out of that stage a little bit like I did. So freshman year, like I said, is your biggest change, and it's also going to be a lot different. You're going to come into high school and you're going to think, especially from middle school, depending on what type of middle school and elementary school you had, you're going to think, damn, this is a lot better, because you're going to get a lot more freedom in high school. You're going to be a lot more independent. But anyways, pulling off a nice triple kill there pretty much. And I don't know, I was just watching the gameplay. But anyways, so sophomore year, what's that like? Sophomore year, it was kind of just probably your funnest year. You're not having too hard of classes, and you're just kind of able to chill and do whatever you want. And really, sophomore year was just this kind of standalone year. I had a really good summer at the end of my sophomore year, and then it was just kind of a blur. Same with junior year, but junior year comes around, and junior year you're probably having your hardest classes. At least where I go to, you have your hardest classes junior year. Junior year will academically be the hardest. And not to mention, for me, junior year was a big change for me, because at the beginning of junior year I was drinking alcohol, smoking weed. All through my sophomore year I was doing that stuff too, and then I kind of got in trouble with the law. I got arrested for minor consumption, which I'm going to go into this in a whole nother video. I just kind of want to get more established with subscribers and stuff before I kind of explain my life-changing story. But I kind of got in trouble with the police, the po-po, and so basically it kind of made me change my life around, and I stopped doing all that stuff. And then by the end of my junior year, I had found a girlfriend that I am in love with, and hopefully will last a long time with. And you know, now it's about to be the midterm of my senior year, and I've kind of just came a long way, and it's really surprising how much you change. I went from getting really bad grades my freshman year to now getting decent grades, doing the right thing, and I've matured a lot. And that's one of the biggest things, because you think about it, you go into high school, let me think, I was probably about 13 or 14 going into high school, and now I'm going to be leaving high school about 17 or 18 years old. So you do a lot of growing in high school, and you will also grow up with other people. Like freshman year when you join high school, you'll see people come and go. For example, you'll see people drop out either in your class or in upper classes, or you'll see people graduate. Like me, I've seen 3 other classes graduate, so that's 3 classes that I have made friends in, and then they went and graduated and went on with their own lives. So you'll make friends that just kind of grow up and leave, because it's what we all have to do. We have to grow up and we have to move on with our life, which is another thing that you'll really start thinking about your senior year, which is in the phase that I'm at, is what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do after school? And for me, I'm planning on going into the computer fields, probably cybersecurity, doing something in there. But then you got to think about, where am I going to go to college? Am I going to stay local? Am I going to live by myself? Am I going to get a roommate? How am I going to be able to afford all this stuff? It's just, you got to think about a lot of things that you're not used to thinking about, and it's all just part of growing up. And it may come as a big shock at first, but I think I'll get used to it, and I think that overall I'll enjoy getting my independence and, you know, getting my own responsibilities, because really it's something that everyone has to do. And I don't want to be that 40-year-old living in my mother's basement playing video games the rest of my life. So now, don't get me wrong, I will play video games for the rest of my life, but it will be in my own house, in my own living room, and I will be paying for my own games. So but yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know your guys' high school experiences below. If you guys want to hear some of my crazy high school stories, I could tell you guys some of that. And I just realized I have a couple more minutes on this commentary, so let me think if I could you know, think of a story I could tell you guys real fast. But for real, leave a comment below. Let me know if you guys liked high school, if you're already out, or if you're about to go in. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I'll explain to you how things work. Let's see. What is a good story I could tell you guys about high school? Oh god, I could tell you guys so many stories about subs. Subs are just, in high school, middle school, and elementary school, you know, you kind of picked on your sub a little bit. You may have, you know, kind of picked on her, just said, oh, my name is so-and-so, and that's not your name, and you have her calling you that name all day. But in high school, man, we pick on our subs, at least where I'm at, so much worse. I mean, we've made people cry before, pretty much. I haven't made people cry, but I've heard stories about people crying. And it's so funny because these subs really don't do anything about it. I remember freshman year I had a substitute teacher in my English class. And back in freshman year, like I said, I had the bad attitude. And this was towards the end of the year, so I was kind of a little bit more socially accepted, and I had my swagger. And I was kind of like, you know, that kid that kind of just was the bad kid that didn't do his work and didn't care. So like, all I would bring to school would be just a pencil. I wouldn't even bring a paper. I wouldn't bring my books. I wouldn't bring anything, which is a bad thing to do. Don't do that. You'll regret it, because I had to work my ass off so hard to catch up. But we had this sub in my English class, and you know, subs don't know who you are. They don't know how you act, but I'm sure they get the gist of it pretty fast. So I was sitting there, and I just had a pencil, and she had passed out a paper or something, and I was sitting there and just staring off into space, which I was perfectly content with doing half the time, which made me realize how much time I fucking wasted just staring off into space. But she just goes, Josh. Somehow she knew who I was. I'm gonna say seating chart, but she says, Josh, are you gonna do your work today? And I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do my work for you. And I look back at that and I'm like, God, you're such an asshole, Josh. But she was like, oh, okay. And she just kind of, she acted depressed about it. I don't know, but and then everyone else just stopped doing the work, started following my lead, and then talking. And she tried, you know, she'd be like, class, be quiet, and the whole class would just be like, shut the fuck up, and just tell her that. And like, I don't know, it's horrible. I would never want to be a sub, especially in high school. I would never be a substitute teacher. I would never be a teacher, period, because I can tell you, teachers put up with a lot of fucking bullshit, and I'm saying that being a student, so I can only imagine what it is like coming from the teacher's perspective. But yeah, so let me know about your high school experiences below, and yeah, if you haven't already, hit that like button, and it would really help if you guys would hit that subscribe button. I have a lot of other videos, go check them out. But thanks for taking time to watch my video, and peace.